Welcome everyone. This is Dr. Clark from the Center for Weight Loss Success. Today on Losing Weight USA, we're going to talk a little bit about body composition and how it relates to your overall metabolism. We'll go into some details about what it actually means, how can it help you, those type of things. All right, welcome to Losing Weight USA, real-time answers to your weight loss questions, some of the latest updates and research, and a little bit of expert advice. Gives you direct access not only to me, but you should be receiving the health tips and recipes via the membership portal. And I encourage you, get into the membership portal, keep adding more things in there all the time. If you have questions during the presentation, just type them into the chat box as we go along. We'll get to them at the end. If you think of things once we're all done, just give us a yell here at the Center for Weight Loss Success. The email is success@cfwls.com. Phone number 757-873-1880. All right, so body composition. We're going to get this slide set up for us. Here we go. All right, body composition. So body composition is something that many scales can do nowadays. It used to be you had to have these special scales that do it, and they are special scales to do it. But actually, you can get these body composition scales now fairly inexpensively, so that it's easy to have one in your own home. And sometimes interpreting the numbers is kind of a little bit more challenging, but we're to go through how that actually occurs. So we have a body composition scale here at the office, and encourage people to come on by. You can check it anytime you want to. There's no cost. You just walk in the door. Whoever's working in the store can actually help you with doing that. And potentially we've got some handouts about what all the numbers mean, but we're going to go through all that. But we'll also talk about how can you apply this if you have your own body comp scale at home. So body composition can be very helpful, and it can be very helpful to try to figure out part of an eating plan, as well as you're losing weight. It's very important to keep track of some of these numbers. The bottom line to this is that what you want to do is lose fatty tissue, not lose lean body mass when you're losing weight. The main reason for that is because it's our lean body mass that actually drives our overall metabolism. Our lean body mass is mainly muscle mass, but it really means everything that's not fat. So literally any molecule that is not fat will actually show up as lean body mass then. All right. So it's the fatty tissue that we're trying to get rid of as we're losing weight. You want to preserve that lean body mass. Very simple concept there that, hey, it's preserving lean body mass that helps maintain or even improve our overall metabolism. So body composition analysis, along with some blood work, can actually help determine your overall eating plan. Now, some of the more important numbers to look for on a body composition machine, or a body composition printout rather, is we're going to go through that. And this on the right side of this slide here, if you're looking at the slides, has a printout of a body composition there, which we're going to hit. It's hard to see right now, but I'm going to break it down in some of the other slides. So some of the more important numbers to look at, of course, it's your weight is one of the most important numbers to look at, and you get that obviously off any scale. But then you also want to kind of figure out what is your lean body mass, or fat-free mass. Fat-free mass, lean body mass, they're interchangeable terms. So if you're looking at a body count machine, it may call the lean body mass fat-free mass, or it may call it lean body mass. They mean the same thing. So we're going to look at kind of these different sections on the printout that we have that you can obtain if you stop by the office here. But many body composition machines may print these out, as well as, again, a home body composition machine may not be able to print it out, but they often will connect Bluetooth to your phone, and so subsequently it can pull up some numbers from that then you can keep track of. If not, just keep them written down somewhere too. All right, so again, probably the more important numbers there, what's your actual weight, which any scale can do, but also then figuring out the actual lean body mass. So looking at the top portion of kind of the printout from the body composition scale we have here in the office, at the very top is your weight. And obviously that's an important number. Now the next weight down, and often weights will be given in both pounds and kilograms. Now most Americans don't think in kilograms. We typically think in the American scale kind of the pounds there. So, but it is often given in both ways, pounds or kilograms. Then kind of what's next is the body fat percentage. And body fat percentage is typically also what you'll see on a body count machine, which you may have at home. It may give you your weight, and then it also may give you, here's the fat percentage. Okay, it often won't actually give you the lean body mass percentage, but if you know the body fat percentage, we can then figure things out. Okay? So body fat percentage in this example was 20.8%. And that actually measured that in pounds. How many pounds of fatty tissue was that? In this example on there where the body weight was 181.5 pounds, the total body fat was 36.8 pounds, which is about 20% of what that 181 number was. So kind of the body fat percentage. So if you have a scale at home that can give you body fat percentage, how does it help you? Okay, I'm going to use some simple numbers, just kind of discuss that for just a minute. So say you weigh 200 pounds and the body fat percentage was 20%. Okay? If the body fat percentage is 20%, so 20% of 200 pounds is 40 pounds. Okay? So you actually have 40 pounds of fatty tissue. Well, if you have 40 pounds of fatty tissue, then the other tissue there, because lean body mass is everything that's not fat. So if you have 40 pounds of fatty tissue, then 200 pounds minus 40 pounds is 160 pounds. You actually have 160 pounds of lean body mass. Now, how does that help you? Because you want, in a weight loss plan, you want to make sure you're preserving that lean body mass. So as you're losing weight and the weight comes down, say, from 200 pounds to 180 pounds to however many pounds. So as pounds come down, you want to make sure you're actually preserving that lean body mass. And the way to do it is you have to do a little fairly simple math, is figure out from the body fat percentage how many pounds of fat that was, then take the opposite, subtract that fat off of there, off of the actual total weight, and subsequently then you're left with how many pounds of lean body mass. You want to preserve that lean body mass as you're losing weight. And as we discussed before, and I won't get into too much, the way to preserve lean body mass during a weight loss plan is, one, making sure you're getting in your protein, and number two is exercise. The two things together help preserve lean body mass. And so again, our lean body mass drives our overall metabolism. All right, now in this printout, though, that I have an example of on the slide, instead of making you figure out the math from all that, it actually figures it out for you. So it has the lean body mass, that fat-free mass listed on there, and subsequently then that was 140 pounds of lean body mass there. And part of that is that lean body mass, the total, the percentage of body fat and percentage of fat-free mass are going to add up to 100. Okay, so it's 100%. So body fat, lean body mass, total together will be 100%, which then will add up to your weight. All right, so it is important to keep track of that lean body mass. We all want to see that fatty percentage come down. Yep, that's absolutely true. We want to see that come down, but you don't want to see that lean body mass number go down as well. Now, most of our body is actually made up of water, so it'll often, these body count machines will actually give you a measure of how much water is in there. And typically most people, that percent water is going to be anywhere from 50% to about 70%. Yeah, on average, most people's average body water is about 2/3 of their body weight. In this body comp scale, we'll actually do your body mass index as well. Body mass index is just a calculated number utilizing your height and your weight. You want to have as body mass index close to around 25. 25 is the upper limit of normal body mass index. Anything above 25 is either overweight, and higher you get, obese, more obese. You know. So body mass index 25, from 20 to 25 is typically a normal range. Some scales will put it from 18 to 25 is actually a normal range. Below 18 is underweight. All right, so kind of that's the top portion of that body comp analysis. Okay? And that next portion of the printout, the body composition analysis, actually can give you a target weight. And the target weight is actually based on how much lean body mass you have. And you'll notice if anyone's come in and done their body composition on our scale, you'll notice that, gee, as I'm losing weight, if you're losing lean body mass, that target weight will also go down. And again, you want to preserve that lean body mass, because what the machine does was actually looks at how many pounds of lean body mass you have and then adds a healthy amount of fat to it. That's how it comes up with the target weight. Then kind of there's also a print of some body water norms and estimation of hydration. For most people, that's not really going to be too pertinent outside of if you are really dehydrated, the body water norms will fall out of the normal range there. And then just kind of as a point of information, there's also some body fat ranges, although in the printout that we have here at the office, the body fat ranges of what's normal versus abnormal is just realize the machine was developed for athletes. So literally anybody that's not a true athlete then may find that, hey, this thing's saying I'm overweight when it really may not be. All right, now the bottom portion of that body composition analysis also can give us some good information. Most scales won't typically do this at home, and that's to figure out the resting energy expenditure, or basically it's kind of your basal metabolism. And it's a mathematical equation that the machine utilizes to figure this out. And that's part of the reason why most body comp scales, you've got to plug in your height as well as your age, and whether you're male or female, because that's what's basically utilized to kind of calculate. And it's an estimation of what's your basal metabolism. And just realize that an estimation is gives us a normal range, and it assumes that you fall in the middle of the normal range, and that may or may not be true. So it does give us an estimate of your basal metabolism. So in this one, the basal metabolism actually was about 1729, which basically means that if this person who had measured the scale and did their body composition, their basal metabolism is about 729 calories. If you were to take in 1,729 calories, if you were to take in that amount each day, then typically your weight would be fairly stable. Now, it does not take into account all the calories you may burn with exercise and activity. We just realize that when we exercise, all our exercise activity doesn't really add up to that many calories. Most of the calories that we burn from a 24-hour day is basically our basal metabolism. What we do in exercise may burn a couple hundred calories. Okay? But our basal metabolism is what makes up the majority of the calories that we burn in a 24-hour day. So yes, we can manipulate that by being more active. That's why it's so important to be active, exercising, but realize that during exercise, we typically may burn a couple hundred calories. So not that many calories. And again, if you're thinking, gee, I'm going to exercise and therefore I'll lose weight. like, well, if you're burning a couple hundred calories, it takes about 3,500 calories to lose a pound of fat. So it's going to take you a good 17 days to lose 1 pound if you're going to exercising your way to weight loss. And okay, most people, when they exercise, typically aren't routinely losing that many calories in there. So part of the point there is that it's difficult to exercise yourself to weight loss. It's a rare person that can actually exercise themselves to weight loss. Typically, weight loss is mainly dietary. Exercise is important, again, going back to preserving that lean body mass. You can preserve that lean body mass, keep your metabolism higher. Subsequently, then it makes it a lot easier to continue losing weight and to keep weight off once you've lost that weight. So kind of basal composition, again, or basal metabolism, if you can give an estimate of that, in order to lose weight, we have to take in less calories, correct? I mean, that kind of makes sense. That's what we've been told. Now, there's some, I always talk about the hormonal influences, things like that. But just from a caloric standpoint, in order to lose a pound of fat, again, we've got to lose about 3,500 calories. So if you're trying to lose a pound a week, that means you got to get rid of about 3,500 calories in a week's period of time. Really hard to exercise those calories off. But just by decreasing the amount we're taking in, decreasing our calorie intake, we can actually manipulate those numbers. So just from some simple math, if I'm trying to lose a pound a week, typically you have to take in about 500 calories less than what you would normally take in, and subsequently then you'll lose about a pound a week. Now the math is not quite as straightforward as that, because as soon as we cut way back on calories, your body will attempt to slow your metabolism down because it views this as kind of a famine. And subsequently, it's going to try to slow your metabolism down. The way to avoid that, again, is the exercise side of the whole thing, preserving that lean body mass. All right, so getting back to kind of review, what are the most important numbers then in this body composition analysis? It doesn't matter what machine you're stepping on. Okay, the first is, yes, your weight is very important. Keeping an eye on that. It's probably the best health parameter that we have, kind of looking at someone's weight. Body fat percentage, that's important to help us figure out our actual lean body mass and how many pounds of lean body mass you have. But still, body fat percentage, typically the higher that fat percentage is, the less healthy we are. So you'd like that body fat percentage to be as low as possible. But you also want to make sure you're preserving that lean body mass. And that's where getting the protein in, exercise, especially the weight training side of exercise, is so very important there. You want to preserve that lean body mass, subsequently keep metabolism high as possible, because it's our lean body mass that directly influences our overall metabolism. All right, so some tips for success then to kind of get people started there. Keeping track of body composition analysis is very important. Now, if you come by the office and get your body comp checked, you can have a series then. If you do it routinely, say I stop by the office every week, get my body comp checked, you can stop by every month, whatever's relatively convenient. Stop by and get your body comp checked. You can figure these things out from a simple scale that will measure fat percentage. I went over that, fairly simple math to do that. But it is important to kind of make sure you're preserving that lean body mass. So again, lean body mass directly related to your metabolism. The way to preserve that lean body mass, getting in the protein, as well as exercise, especially the weight training side of the whole thing. If you can get an estimate of your resting energy expenditure, okay, which is basal metabolism, it gives you that estimate of the calorie amount for weight loss then. Potentially, though, again, the resting energy expenditure, since it is a calculated number, there are lots of areas on that calculation that can potentially give kind of some false numbers. So it's not quite as accurate as we'd like it to be. If you have questions, though, don't hesitate. Stop by because we've got teaching handouts to go over body composition and kind of what are the important numbers. You can get it checked here. Typically, anyone that's working in the store here can go over it with you and help you with sorting some of those things out. And if you're looking for a jump start, get one of the jump start diets. You lose 8 to 25 pounds in just a couple of weeks. Again, stop by the store. They can help you with sorting through all that. All right, question. I don't see questions out there, but this is a very important topic. And it's important to have a decent understanding of kind of body composition and what do the numbers actually mean for you from an overall health standpoint. Again, encourage you, stop by the office, you can get your body comp checked. We've got handouts kind of teaching that, plus people here, if there's any questions about it, can easily explain some of these things. All right, so make sure you're logging into the membership site. You should be receiving the health tips and weekly recipes. Tune in each Tuesday, 12:15 for the next webinar. Watch your email for the invite and link. And remember, it's your life. Make it a healthy one. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.